Richard, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us at this beautiful theatre in the Palace Theatre in Manchester. If you can see, viewers, it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it's over 100 years old.
Oh, and then
longer
some.
than it must be long. It's an absolutely gorgeous place.
It is. Stunning theatre.
We're joined with Richard Winsor. We're so excited. He is the lead in Saturday Night Fever. Richard, tell us about the amazing opening night you had last night.
Wow, it was a wonderful reception. It really was. I mean, I think we pretty much was a full house actually. So there's nearly 2,000 people in.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. Yeah, everyone up at the end, dancing in the aisles, just going crazy. Yeah, but also they were really with the story as well and the kind of the journey of the character, and they felt really on it and with the humour, with the drama, with the tragedy. I mean, they really felt with us, which is fantastic.
Brilliant. I heard there was a standing ovation last night.
There was, yeah, very much so, yeah. And there were dancing. We do a mega mix at the end, and it's a collection of all the songs. Well, not all of the songs, but some of the kind of main dance hits that we kind of do throughout the show. And it's the end of the last, I'd say, 10 minutes of the show. And by the end of that, everyone is up and absolutely going crazy. So it's like a big concert. Yeah.
So obviously Saturday Night Fever is an iconic movie. John Travolta was the star. It came out in 1977. Obviously John Travolta is an amazing actor. He's a fantastic dancer.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you as an actor, kind of stepping in the shoes of John Travolta? Like when you got the part, like how did it feel?
Well, when Bill Kenwright approached me for the role, Bill Kenwright, who is the producer, but he also directed this particular version, this brand new version of this show. He's a massive fan of Casualty, so he was a big fan of my character in Casualty, and always had me in mind to do his Saturday Night Fever, which, because obviously he knew I was a dancer from prior to that as well. So he wanted me to really kind of get my own flavour of it, my own take on it. But obviously, it's an iconic story. It's an iconic film with an iconic person like John Travolta playing that character. So you can't just ignore it. You have to take it on and take on the challenge of not becoming John Travolta in any stretch of the imagination, but becoming that role. What Tony Manero is about, what he wants, what he loves, what drives him, what wakes him up in the morning. You know, that's what it's about, not about John Travolta. Now, John Travolta obviously is extraordinarily charismatic and extraordinarily skillful as a dancer as well, and an actor. So I did want to draw a few little bits from him, and obviously his stylistic way of moving, because that is what is iconic in the 70s dance theme, but not mimicking in any way. So as an actor, back to your question, I wanted to find out what drove Tony Manero, and that's what my challenge was.
So kind of like putting your spin on the character.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Exactly.
Tell us about, because obviously like the 70s was an era of disco, obviously the production, it's one of my favourite eras because the clothes, the music. Tell us about your outfits, because I believe you've got some great outfits as well.
Most things in the show are vintage, actually.
Right,
so they were really keen on making it feel as kind of as original and as retro as possible, but obviously still feeling like you can move in them. But a lot of the costume you could move in anyway, because they were all kind of polyester and spandex and stuff. So yeah, I mean the costumes are beautiful. The girls look wonderful. They all look like they've got like these long retro leather jackets. I've got a cool little leather bomber jacket with big collar.
Wow.
I've
Just
got
like
flares,
Grease.
obviously, because this show has a lot of flares in it. Why wouldn't it?
You're hearing that, guys. If you love flares, this is the show for you.
So many flares. All flair. So, but no, I mean, and then you've got the Bee Gees who are up top on the platform, and they're in the kind of the iconic Bee Gee gold suit.
Wow.
And that sounds kind of like it's going to be cheesy, but it's actually not. It's they're tailored in such a way, and they've got the wigs on and everything, and they're lit in such a way up there that it's almost a kind of they're in an epiphany almost in the background, driving the story's narrative. And it's a wonderful addition, which has never been done in a Saturday Night Fever production before. So yeah, all in all, it's the costumes and the set are fantastic. They really are.
So tell us, obviously you're the lead in the show. Tell us a little bit about your character and how you feel that you personify him to the audience.
Sure. Tony Manero is a working class Brooklyn lad, Italian American, from a very Catholic family, very strict Catholic family. He works in a paint store by day, has a little group of friends called the Faces, and they're a little gang, and they go around, flirting with women, taking drugs at the weekend, partying, dancing, and he loves to dance, Tony. He lives for the weekend. He wants to get off his kind of the day-to-day restraints of what his life is and just break free at the weekend and just let rip. And he has a skill, he has a talent for it. So he doesn't quite know how to break out of the shackles of Brooklyn American in that time, but certainly through dance, he finds a natural drive and a natural desire to do that. And then through characters he meets, it's all about relationships, this show, the story. With his dad, who's a drunk abuser, his brother, who's this denouncing God Catholic priest who comes back and says, I'm leaving the church, his mum, who's just the most devout Catholic you can possibly imagine. And then these two girls, Annette, who is absolutely in love with him, will do anything, is besotted with him and just wants to dance with him and him to choose her all the time. And she's just too easy. She's just too, so many he can just choose from. And she's just, she's just not right. Ultimately, she would be in a different circumstance, a different time. If he was a different character, they'd be married with 2 kids in 5 years. But she's just not right for him. And he meets this girl called Stephanie, who's made this leap over from Brooklyn to over the iconic bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, which is quite symbolic of a better life in Manhattan, and finding new beginnings and riches. And she's made that leap, and he is absolutely besotted by her. He wants to not only obviously date her, but he wants to know everything about her, what she is and who she is, and just kind of learn from her, And that's what he chips away at, tries to get on her side, tries to obviously, more than just friends, but it turns out they are just friends in the end. But with a twinkle in their eye, and they're never quite sure. They might be further. But it's a struggle for him. It's a real struggle to kind of break away from what he has always ever known to this new life that he's getting his eyes opened up. And he's using dance, really, as his driving force.
Brilliant. So obviously music is a big factor in this production. Tell us, how does it feel? Because the Bee Gees are a fantastic, dominated the 70s for me.
They are. The Bee Gees, they're absolutely timeless. Their songs, you're still in a club nowadays, in a modern club, wherever you are, and a Bee Gees song comes on. You should be dancing, and sometimes if it's mixed in with a modern, like a DJ's mixing it in with another track, it's still so wonderful. It's still so driving. I kind of put it in Eurythmics' "Sweet Dreams," that song. And that comes on. That's timeless. There's certain songs that are just disco or dance classics, and most of the Bee Gees songs are that. And it's wonderful to have them played live on stage with the band, who are all on different platforms, and the Bee Gees there singing up in the kind of the top, singing these. It's like you're with the Bee Gees every single day, which is an amazing thing, to be driven by that sound, because it's so powerful in the theatre. And apparently, I haven't sat out front and listened to it because I'm obviously on stage, but apparently in this particular theatre, it sounds wonderful. The acoustics, just everything, the sound system, it's just, it's a kind of a dream for the boys who are playing live in this theatre. So I love the Bee Gees songs. I've always have, so it's fantastic for me to be getting to dance in front of them.
What's your favourite song that you love dancing to? It's difficult. Yeah,
I thought always, before I started the show, Night Fever, which I thought is a great song. But then the song Should Be Dancing, which is when he does his iconic solo in the club, which we do on a big lit up dance floor that we have. When that starts, that drum beat starts coming in, and the guitar riffs start
it's a great
going in. It's such a great song. So that probably is my favourite.
How does it feel when you walk out to an audience who know that song's coming up, and they're literally like in anticipation? Like, I'm one of those people leaning forward. I know it's coming. What does that feel like? It must feel amazing for you, because obviously that's the iconic song from the movie. So coming out to that, it must be fantastic. Yeah,
it is. Well, we come out to Staying Alive, that's the iconic walking down the street. So that's that kind of the opening. Should Be Dancing comes at the end of Act 1, and it's after a big kind of fight in the club and a big argument, and Stephanie, who Tony thinks he invited to come that night, she hasn't turned up, and he's just completely like, he wants to kind of throw it all in and just not give up, but like put his aggression into dancing. So he kind of says a rude word, but then starts the band, and that music kicks in, Should Be Dancing, and it's such a powerful moment. The audience suddenly go, whoa, okay, here we go. And he goes on and takes up the dance floor and does his little thing.
Fantastic, Richard. So last night, it was a fantastic opening night. Congratulations to you and the cast and the creative and all the musicians, because I believe there's a lot of musicians that have taken part in this production. It's on, folks, here at the Palace Theatre until Saturday the 26th of January. So it's only here for a couple more days to get your tickets. We thank you so much, Richard. It's been an absolute pleasure.
That's my pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you this week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.